still not subscribed to the partition, you know, it's a lot of ways that you can do this besides watching all the content. But before we start, always remember, go to the channels link. Every show that we have, you can always see every show before everybody else see the show. But besides that, always remember, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, put it on all. Until then, always remember, anything is possible. Thank you for choosing the partition. Now let's get into the show. Anything is possible. Peace. The Chopping Up with Lil Ron show is where it's at and it's where it's happening. Oh man. Yes, sir. Like me son needs to do the drink. He just tell me one time. My son got me this with my dad, so I can always have him with me whenever I do the show. Come on, wait. I want to laugh. Welcome back to Chopping It Up with Lil Ron. Today in the studio, we have a very, very special artist. You know, I don't always get a lot of different music producers and people that sit behind the scenes very often. And when I do get them in, I be excited because I want to interview them and I want to learn a lot of stuff about them. Today in the studio, we have the one and only DJ Flip.
Hey,
how you doing,
good?
DJ
What's good?
Flip?
I'm good, man. Wonderful, man. Positive days, positive blessings. How you doing?
You know what? I'm glad that you're here. I met you through the Nosy Nay, and basically, whenever I bring artists on and people onto the show, I know who you are by talking to other people. So I always let people introduce themselves to my fans because your fans know who you are, and my fans are gonna know who you are. So introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, and then we'll go from there. And boom, there it is.
Well, first of all, I'm DJ Flip. I was raised in Cape Coral, Florida. That's Southwest Florida. That's like across from Miami, right under Tampa. I was raised there most of my life. Was on iHeartRadio when I was young. Around 21 years old, I was on there. Got put on. From there, traveled around all of Florida. Moved up to Atlanta. After Atlanta, I moved to D.C., Maryland, Virginia. From there, moved back down to Florida. Got back on the radio, broke some records, did some production for a couple of major labels. And then I got shipped off to LA, started doing some projects there.
And you know, some people don't understand how it is in the world to break a record. And I'm not talking about taking a record and breaking it in half, because some people think that's what you mean. But you know, breaking in records is sometimes hard because sometimes you have artists that you don't want to hurt their feelings and tell them that the music is not good, but at the same time, they got that paper. So they have that money. And sometimes you have artists that come along that don't like to get the criticism. They get mad and they get upset. And you have some artists that DJs and people that's in the media, public relations and stuff, they all turn back around and turn down, and that artist end up being the actual one. So what was the turning point when you got into doing producing? Because producing goes a long way, and a lot of people don't know that. Because just because a person's name is DJ this, well, I'm going to use DJ Khaled for an example.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to use Khaled for an example. Some people think, well, he's a DJ, he spin records. In actuality, he may spin records to mix up the tracks, to produce it, but he's an actual music producer. So what gave you the actual drive to be a producer? Like something had to spark you to make you say, I want to be a producer.
Oh, man, it was just getting out the box out of radio. When I was on radio, I'm going to give you some gems to any DJ out there, to anybody that wants to get into the radio industry. You have to go through a list. You got to go with what the program director wants you to play. So on that time, when I was like, yo, I got tired of it. Why am I playing down this list and mixing tracks I don't want to mix? I started hitting up the labels, the record promoters from these labels that need that certain track to get played in that certain area, that region. So I went ahead and bend some rules a bit, you know, like I'm sorry for saying this I heard, but like, yeah, I was restricted. So I went ahead and took some of these records that were hot, that wasn't in my market where I was based out of, and started breaking these records and doing it on my own behalf on my mix shows.
And you know, a lot of people, they don't do that. They don't like to break records. I don't know why they don't like to break records. And you have artists that come in, let's say like prime example, like down south. You know, we got like a lot of down south music. And y'all have a lot of music that come from up there that travels down here.
Yeah.
But a lot of the artists is like our Slim Thug, our Power Wow,
Mike Jones.
Mike. Well, you know, hey, I haven't seen Mike Jones in a minute, so I'm not. You know, an artist may not work out in one state, but don't mean he don't work in another state. You know, Mike Jones, he did what he had to do. He paid his dues in what we have in our culture, and you never can take hip hop and write him out, regardless if he's not popular. Like Lil Flip, a lot of people think Lil Flip don't do stuff. He still do stuff. You got ESG. You have Scarface. You got Ghetto Boys, man. The list go on and on. But when you have artists and they're breaking records and you're taking records that's, like, let me use Sauce Walker for an example.
Yeah.
Somebody like Sauce Walker coming out of Houston and he's making his way up to Miami because somebody actually heard him and said, hey man, this artist is the one. How do you take a Sauce Walker and bring him to Miami so the Miami platform can actually hear him? How do you do that?
I appreciate you asking the right questions, because that's a common thing that artists don't ask. Like, how do you break the record? It's not just the radio platform. You got to do the groundwork. So when it comes to an artist that's been popping in Houston, right? That has his music and he has his audience, he has his like whole motion going on, right? You're gonna eventually hit a glass ceiling like I did as a DJ, right? So the best thing you got to do is meet somebody from a different city or someone that's been going around different cities and, you know, expanding their brand, you know, getting out there and expressing who you are, what have you done in the industry to have that trust in you to help them break that record. I had to make sure that if an artist is in another city that has made that cap right there, right, that has got to that level to where it's like, yo, what else can I do? I'm ready to go. If you're at that level right now, let me help you. Let me be part of your team. Let me get my resources involved so that way you can expand in a different city.
Got you. You know, some people, they don't like to, I call it elevate.
Yes,
some people don't want to
elevate.
elevate. Some people just want to stay local. They don't want to go outside of the box. They basically comfortable with the amount of money they make. I don't know a lot about DJ Khaled, but I hear good stuff. I hear people that's bad stuff. But you can't always expect for a person to stay in one spot. They have to grow. If they don't come out of their environment and make way for the next people that come behind it, they basically gonna be stuck. I remember at a time, Plies, when Plies kicked the door in, man, and Ace Hood. See, people don't be talking about these artists like that. They forget about those artists. Because one time when Wayne was doing his stuff with Cash Money, with his Carters coming out, people were sleeping on Plies, but Plies was really pumping out some heat, man. That dude was really pumping out really heat. I was just listening to Bushes the other day.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know Rick Ross, he actually paid the way for a lot of artists too, man. That man really actually pumped out a lot of music, and he's at a point of trying to put other people on. Because his Maybach music thing he have, it's actually doing its thing. He did something. He reached his arm out. He did stuff with Meek Mills. He did. You know the guy named Stally?
Stally?
He sings a song called "Swangin'." It's a song called "Swing." You see me swinging.
Yeah.
That guy, Rick Ross, got him and brought him to Maybach Music. So Stally, he's another person. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's out of Cleveland. Yep, he's out of Cleveland. He's a real good artist that people don't really actually look at and don't actually see. Now, another Southern artist that you probably heard of, B King.
B King.
Yeah, I think he's out. I want to say, I know he do some stuff in Houston, but I think the dude is out of Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% certain. But B King do some things too. In doing what you do in producing, when was your time that came when you produced your first track, and which artist did you produce it for?
I produced my first track in D.C.
Okay.
I was born in Rockville, Maryland. I never had a chance to, you know, explore my roots to see where I came from. I was raised in Florida all my life. You know, after my father passed, I wanted to see, why did we move from Maryland, D.C.? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go out there and create. because I found myself as a DJ, as a creative through Florida. And I wanted to go out there to DC to see if I can actually make music. So I made it with an artist, a producer out there that I genuinely, truly appreciate. They're still my family. We've been rocking ever since I left DC. And we made a dope track. I got it done there in DC, went to LA, got it mixed and mastered, put it out there, got the record broken within 24 hours on the radio.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of people think just because you break a record, that's what it's about. It's other things. Some people don't know about the ASCAP. Some people, they don't know about publishing. They don't know the things that you have to do now to make money. Back then it was hard because back then you had to sell those records.
You gotta sell CDs.
Yeah, you had to, from my hand to your hand, you going from city to state, and some people gonna listen to you, some people don't listen to you. I tell people, if you put a track on, if this is a proven fact, if you bob your head within the first 15 seconds, you got them. Automatically. If you put that track on, if they just sit there and they just listen to the track, and they don't move their head, you don't have their attention. If you put it on and you get them at least 15 seconds to move their head, chances are they're going to listen to that track and they're going to say, all right, yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and spend my money with you. And I liked it back in the days. It was better because artists work for they stuff. Now it's almost like it's handed to them. You can just go in your bedroom and just go cut a track today, put it out. You wake up in the morning, you viral just that fast, man. And some of them don't need record labels. How do you handle that when it comes down to needing the record label versus doing it yourself, like cutting the middleman out?
The key word, the internet's fake. Anybody can generate numbers now these days. Anybody can get fake followers, ghost followers. Anybody can look viral on the internet. But if you can't go out and do the footwork in other places, you're still not going to get recognized. You still got to go out and meet the top elites of certain cities and areas that can validate you to say, you are who you are, and I respect that about you. When I got to Houston, no one didn't know who I was. They knew that I got a couple plaques here and there. I broke some records. I work with Kanye, Tyga, you know, certain people that I've done things in the industry, you know, for. But sometimes you just got to put the work in yourself. Like, yeah, I'm an artist. Yo, let's do a feature right now, right? Yeah, I'm a producer. Let's get your track right now sounding great. Yeah, I'm an artist. Like, let's do this. Let's get some motion. Let's get some pictures taken. I got my cameraman with me. They got to see that you got motion outside the city. And that's when you get that respect right there in the music industry, is when you know that you can walk around to state, getting that respect.
And you know, there's a lot of people, they just think things should be basically handed to them on a silver platter. When I first started to do my film and then did my talk shows, I basically wanted to open the door to people that don't never get recognized like they supposed to get recognized. But at the same time, I didn't want to bring people onto my show that already had a name for themselves. I wanted people that, hey, man, I know that person exists. Hey, man, I'm finna go ahead. I'm finna support that person. It's all about support. If you don't get up and you don't grind, it ain't gonna work. And as long as you grind and you work, that is all that matters. Yes. Making good quality products. People don't know how to make good quality products. The products they make is just something they just throwing together. Now, the next thing I want to ask you is very important to me. What gives you the actual drive? Because you got that name, DJ Flip. Because I'm pretty sure people ask you this question, like, are you associated with Lil Flip or anything? You know, some people may ask you something like that. Because I heard DJ Flip, I'm like, is he a rapper? And then, like, no, that's not what I do. Because you hold a lot of titles.
Yeah.
How many titles do you actually hold being a producer?
Quite a few right now. Throughout my years, I broke in Taste by Tyga. That is currently 9 times platinum. YFN Lucci, PNB, rest in peace, PNB, man, a great guy. I broke Every Day We Lit. I broke a few records for OVO, Party Next Door, Not Nice, Come and See Me, Lil Pump, Gucci Gang.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got a couple, you know, I'm humbly like to say that I've done that, but I never brag about it or show an artist like, yeah, I broke this record, that artist right there, he's put on. Nah, I did it on the grace of God, you know? If you have something coming to you, like let's just say a record, and someone that is genuine in that industry that means well, I'm going to take care of that person just to get that record on because I believe in it as well, too. If that person I know that I can trust and I had that great relationship with that person, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that record for them. And that's just based on love right there, you know, no money, no nothing, just
And
out
you know,
there.
I do that a lot with my film industry. I show a lot of people love. I mean, I show them a lot of love. I show them a lot of love. Because sometimes it's not always about, I tell people, slow down beats a fast dollar any day. And some people, they do not understand that. Now, in the whole music ordeal that you actually do and producing records and breaking records, what is the next thing for you the next big thing that you want to do besides doing producing?
Man, I would say open my own record label, my own studio, buy my mama's house back. I had to sell it during the pandemic because we had tough times. The industry was closed. Nothing was working during the pandemic. I had no money come in because all my money I ever made was based off DJing, being in the music industry, doing promo records for like radio, getting paid off of that. It was tough for me. So my biggest thing is to like honestly just get going, get my mom's house back, see myself in my own record label, promoting the artists that I want to promote, that I believe that is great for this industry. Because right now we have a lot of records on the radio that are not popping on top 100 Billboard.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, and
You listen to satellite radio. People be sleeping on satellite radio. If you really want to hear some people that's underrated, that's really good, better than half of the people you hear, you cut that satellite radio on, man. They be having. Now we in the era where people make their radio stations. You can make a radio station tomorrow and actually do it. In fact, I'm finna do something with Apple. I'm finna actually do an actual podcast show, which is audio only. Won't be no video. It's gonna be called A Panel.
Yeah.
We're getting going now. We talk about different stuff. Man, the panel is gonna be good. Coming in October, I'm dropping the panel. That is going to be a show that everybody is going to love. That show is going to be similar to this, but I have 4 people on there, and we all talk about all types of stuff on this show. Any type of things you name, we talk about it all. Now, being a producer, do you have any artists that you can say are your own, or people that you close with? Like, this is a close person I work with a lot.
Definitely. I have an artist I work with since day one for a good 5 years. His name's AK.
Okay.
Great artist based out of Florida. Another Afrobeat artist that's in Kansas City. He's doing great as well too. I also got another artist here in Texas, based out of Arlington, Texas. His name's Trip Sona. I actually was able to help him out and work on his album with one of the head engineers of Rap A Lot. His name's DJ Rocks. He's doing great. You know, he came from working just the little realm he's in right now. He's escalated so quick, bringing him into Houston and meeting the right people. And he's doing great, doing podcasts, meeting other artists, getting his name out there. He's picked up at least like 300 new followers on his gram now.
Wow.
And I'm proud of him. He's doing his thing.
That's good, because when you out there in this Houston world, especially in the hip hop world, man, it's out there, man. People, they actually be doing their thing. Now, we come to my favorite segment. This is called Leon's Top 5. You gonna like this
Top
one.
5, right? All right, bet.
Leon was a cousin of mine that actually got killed in an 18-wheeler 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He was a big fan of all my shows. At the time, I only had Kicks and Tricks, and I had this particular show that was just about to grow. So I vowed to always donate. It's 2 years, but that's crazy, like yesterday. But I vowed to give this segment to him. So what would be DJ's Flip's top 5? It can be an R&B artist. It can be gospel. It can be rap. It can be blues. It can be jazz. It can be country. It can be pop. It can be reggaeton. Whatever you want. Who is the top 5 people you listen to?
Top 5? Well, if you want to start from like new school to old school,
Whatever you want.
I'd say my number one pick right now, honestly, that no one doesn't hear about. Mostly, I know Drake here heard about him. His name's Swavy.
Okay, Swavy.
Swavy's great. He's got a good album just came out. Let's see the other one, Callan For Real, or FRFR, you know, that's on social media.
Okay.
He's a great West Coast artist. Another artist that I truly appreciate, Nipsey Hussle.
Yes, okay.
I truly love Nipsey Hussle, man.
Man, I was just listening to earlier, Last Time I Checked.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my favorite song. The song he have, that's like my favorite one. And when I hear that one, I like that beat, that tune, tune, tune. Man, there's something about when that beat come on.
Yeah.
Tune, 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 tune. Okay, so you got Nipsey Hussle, that's 3.
I like YG. YG's a great dude.
He's on that song too. YG he's actually on that song.
Yeah, I'm very West Coast influenced. I love the West Coast hip hop. It's different. And then last but not least, Kanye. And I'm grateful for Kanye because I had the pleasure of working a couple projects with Def Jam with him and understanding where he comes from and why the person he is who he is right now. Some people think he's crazy, but maybe it's not the people that think he's crazy. It's the people around him that are crazy about what Kanye's up to because they're always nosy about him. So yeah, he's gonna throw you off and play stupid with you and let you see what he got on the media. But is that really what he wants you to see, or he's just doing that just to get attention from y'all? He's smart. He a genius. You know what I'm saying?
You know, a lot of people they thought Michael Jackson was crazy.
Yeah.
They buying elephants and buying monkeys. People don't understand when you become a celebrity and you get in that limelight, your life will never be the same.
Yeah.
People are going to bum rush you. They're going to make up stories on you. They're going to try to trap you with children. They're going to try to turn back around, discredit your character. They're going to do so many things to you. And sometimes you have to hold your head up and rise above all. And you got to take the good with the good and the bad with the bad, man. Correct, and it's just sad to actually say that's just how it is. Now, how can the people find you on social media?
It's Flip the Plug, FLIPDA plug.
So Flip the Plug.
Yeah.
Now is the with DA?
DA, yup.
Man, I like it already because a majority of the stuff I do, the partition and it is that DA, man, just something about that DA. So Flip the Plug. Now, when you hit the plug, don't be hitting the plug asking for a track for $50 or $100. People will do that, man. They'll say, "Can I get a track for $100 or $50?"
Send me the budget, man.
Hey, key thing, I tell people, when you want to work with me, tell me what your budget is. If you say, "Man, my budget is, man, I got $100. Man, I ain't gonna afford to get cheese on a Whopper, but I'll see what I can actually do, man. But I don't know if that's gonna actually work." But I'm glad we had you.
Thank you.
I enjoyed you, and I'm gonna bring you back. Actually, I got to work on with my team to see if I can get you on the panel, so we can be on there. The panel is no more than about 45 minutes to an hour. We talk about a lot of good stuff on there. We talked about AI a few weeks ago.
I love AI.
And man, that's gonna when that episode come out, it's gonna be like lovely because we go into detail with everything that's with AI. Trust me, that's gonna be really good. But until next time, always remember, anything is possible. Thank you for choosing Chopping Up with Lil Ron. Till next time, we out. Peace.